I don't see why people can't see that.
Go and do it for free.
Yeah, go and do it for free. It's their problem. It's not our problem.
Why are we all racing to the bottom?
I'd like to open this episode with a common phrase that we see and hear.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes, you're very accentuated.
Can you do it without actually crying?
I don't know.
time?
Let's see.
This is about the third attempt.
It is the third attempt. We're going to go
My
for it.
local area is saturated with dog trainers, is the phrase.
Better. I do want to laugh, but I'm going to hold it back
I
in.
know.
Yes. Why? First question.
Mm-hmm.
Why do we think this is a bad thing?
Because there's too much competition. I'm going to get lost in a sea of dog trainers. Nobody's going to buy my thing over everyone else's.
Mm-hmm.
That's the fear.
Are there any others?
Yes, they might not be as good as me.
Oh.
They're young things that are coming, not necessarily young, they're new things.
That's how we feel.
Yeah. Well, yeah, everyone's young compared to us. They're new, young things that are coming through and may not have the experience and may not provide a good enough service. That's another thing.
I'd have never thought of that one.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. What else?
I don't know. What else do you think? Because I think those are the two main things. It's like fear of the income's going to go down because now all of a sudden owners are going to go to those people instead.
Yeah.
Shiny new services and things.
Yeah.
I think it all comes back down to money.
Yeah, it does. I was just trying to think if there was any, because you know what we're like human beings just answer surface level shit. So that saturation bit is very like, but what's underneath it?
Yeah, it's
peel
the money.
back the layers of the onion.
It's the money because, like, we ask people a lot, don't we? What's your biggest struggle at the moment in the business? So we ask people what's going well, what's your biggest struggle, and very often the answer to that question is all the new trainers popping up in my area.
Yeah, and I think the thought process around that is you have to slash your prices in order to be able to compete.
Yes, that's the strategy to be able to deal with that.
Yeah, it's a really hard cycle to get your head out of that. Because if you're operating, and actually you do see it, don't you? Like you see these established businesses that have maybe been well known in the area for a while. And then if there is a new business that pops up and their price points are substantially lower maybe, and I feel like I need to put this out there anyway. You're all not charging enough anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Not charging, but you know what I mean.
Your
price
fees
points
are not appropriate.
Your fees are not appropriate. Your fees are too low. And when you try and compete and compare to others that are lower, why are we all racing to the bottom? I don't know about you. I do not want to lower my fees because then I'm going to have to work 10 times as hard to actually just put food on the table and pay my bills.
Yeah. And
deliver a shit service whilst doing it.
And it devalues your service. I don't see why people can't see that. Because whenever you buy something on sale, it makes you think, well, would I have bought that if it was full price? Do I think it's worth it at full price? Or is it only worth it because it's a £5, for example, if it's clothes or something?
Mm-hmm.
And I've done it before where I've gone, it's only a £5, and I've bought it, got it home and went, I don't even want that. I don't even like it. It was just because it was £5.
Oh, yes. My parents do this with food.
Oh, right. With crumpets.
With crumpets, yeah.
Your dad and crumpets.
Yeah. The obsession with crumpets. If they're reduced to like 99p, he's like, I'm in.
I always think of your dad and a crumpet at breakfast this morning. I saw crumpets and went, your dad.
Yeah, it's. I don't know why we do this race to the bottom though, and why we are so fearful of competition.
Resource guard. It encourages that kind of behaviour as well.
Yeah, and I think this is an example of where we as human beings we lead with emotions so much. Like 80% of decisions, I would say, are made from an emotional stance and view rather than logical.
Mm-hmm.
Because logically, how many dogs are there? Even if you're just going to go like localized. If I was to look at the block around my house, easily what, like 50 houses minimum?
What, in your close?
Not the close, like the block, like if I was going to walk around. Probably even like a couple of
What?
hundred.
I was going to say, there's way more than that.
Wow. But this is the point I'm getting at. Like if there's okay, let's just say like 100 houses. How many of those have got dogs?
Loads.
Like 1 in 3, one in
Loads have
1 in
got
4,
dogs.
1 in 5. It's still like a high proportion. So, and that's literally just looking at a 2-minute walk of my house, let alone like a 20-minute drive time if that's what I wanted to do. So, are you telling me that there is that much competition that it is physically impossible for you to see any clients within a 30-minute drive time of your house?
Mm.
I'd,
And you know what, right? So the premise of this episode is going to be, how should we think about that scary ass thought of, oh, there's all these trainers popping up. How can we flip that? And this is what we're going to discuss today. So I would like to bring it back to when I was a dog walker. And when I started dog walking, I think there was like 3 of us in the town that I live in. And then by the time I'd finished dog walking, I would say there was upwards of like 30 dog walkers. So to me, and it never affected me as a dog walker, by the way, because I was doing my thing and actually my fees were higher. I want to say higher. They were slightly higher than every other dog walker in the area, I would say. And it never affected my ability to get clients in, and nobody quibbled it because I suppose because I was a trainer as well, it might have, you know, people kind of trusted me from the training side and I got a lot of clients through that. But the way I looked at it was, there's a demand for this service more than ever now, because back in 2015, I think it was still a fairly newish thing. Like I think it had come over from America, like most things do, daycare, a lot of things like that come over from America, like secure dog fields kind of came over from there, I believe, as well. Hoopers came over from there, like loads of stuff. So we're kind of looking at them and going like, oh, we could provide that as a service. And then it grew and people were like, what an awesome thing to do. I'll get a dog walker. I'm out all day, whatever. So the way I look at it is, well, there's a real demand for this here. So let's just maybe pivot. Let's think of different ways where we can help ourselves stand out a little bit more and do something a little bit different from the norm. And so the way we're going to sort of talk about this today is to pivot into using it as an opportunity rather than something to be scared of and a reason to stop doing it. Because what we're finding is people are like dipping out and going like, well, there's too much competition. I don't think it's for me anymore, which is such a shame, isn't it?
yeah, and it circulates back to that race to the bottom. I don't know why the initial thought is, in order to compete with someone, that you have to be cheaper. Like I really struggle to understand that concept.
I do, because it never entered my head to lower my fees.
I just really don't understand it. And actually, I mean, I lie. There is an element of I do understand it, because it always comes back to your own money mindset and your own money blocking issues that you have. Whether you know them or not, that is the root cause of you operating in the way that you do. And you could almost circulate back into good old imposter syndrome. That hasn't flared up on any recent episodes lately. But imposter syndrome of, oh, I don't know if I'm good enough, so actually I don't deserve the higher fee, whatever that higher fee is. And again, like, even with me saying those 2 words of higher fee, all of you listening will have a figure in your head, and I guarantee it's all different.
Mm.
Like my version of a high fee versus your version of a high fee will be different. And everybody listening, I guarantee it. There'll be some similarity, but there'll be vast differences as well. And already, like, if you look at that through a logical lens, well, who's to say you're expensive or not. And even using these phrases is really not going to serve you very well. So we have to take that step back and go, okay, so if I don't lower my fees, what the fuck do I do? Because that's currently the only way I feel that I can compare. And
actually just slipping in there, a lot of
sliding into
the combo. I think a lot of new people set very low fees because they don't feel they're worthy of higher fees anyway. So of course we've got new people and their really low fee because they have got a problem with being able to increase their fees and charge what they should be.
Yep.
So therefore we then go, oh, but actually it's their problem. It's not our problem. They're the ones going, I don't feel ready to put my prices up yet.
Yeah.
So it's kind of that element as well.
Adding to that as well. So yes. And it comes back to the really crap business advice that is still somehow circulating. And I couldn't tell you where from either, but it's there. It's in the ether world. And people will go, oh, but if you're just starting out, then just do it for like your fuel money. Just give me a tenner. I was like, and this is stuff that I was told like 11 years ago. And it's still there now. Why? I see beauticians do this a lot as well. I'm just starting out. So come and get your nails done for like a £5 or a 10 quid. And you can be like my guinea pig. I'm like, but you've rolled that out now for like a year. How many more test runs do you need to do? I can't. People won't possibly pay more than like £35 for your nails. I was like, I'll pay £45 for mine.
But again, like we did in a recent podcast episode with Kane, we were talking about how you can use that as a strategy. So say, for example, if you are new and you do want to build up a little bit of confidence with it and make sure that you are delivering the service that you say you will. And I get that kind of confidence bit, but do it in exchange for a testimonial, do it in exchange for something. So you go, I'm going to offer this amount of spaces for this fee, or it's free. And in exchange for that, I want a testimonial from you that I can then use in my marketing so that then that helps me going forward. But be really clear about how many of those you're going to do, or it's a duration of like for the next 2 weeks only. It's a launch offer and then it goes to the normal fee. And there again, it's almost like following on from that setting expectation episode that we've just done. Is like, it's really clear. This isn't forever. This has got a time limit on it, or it's got an amount of people limit on it. And then it changes. And I'm getting something back for it that's going to be more valuable going forward. So that could potentially work. But in a lot of cases with trainers, and I was told this with my canine massage, go and do it for free. For like there's no end point. It's just like, go and get your confidence up and do it for free. Well, hold on a minute. I've spent like 2 years studying the most intense thing I've ever done. And I want some kind of like payment back.
Advice?
Yeah.
Go and do it for free.
Yeah. And people were, and I was just like, I'm not doing that, because I'd been self-employed for a long time at that point. And I was like, I'm not doing it for free. Like, I've learned this thing now and I want to apply it and actually get paid for doing it.
Oh my God, I'm really shocked at that.
Yeah.
I have no words.
Yep. And yet with puppy school, that was never part of their teaching, is go and do it low. It was that's one thing I will say was like, just set your fees and those are what they are, whatever you know. And there was a minimum, there was like a guided minimum fee as well that couldn't be below. So I thought actually that was quite good, because that wasn't the advice there. Look what everyone else is doing and charge similar. It was like, this is the minimum, feel free to do more. But yeah, that's what was given. And that's what a load of people were doing. And I was just like, what are you doing? I remember saying to a few people, like, why are you doing it for free? Oh yeah, but I need to get confident with it. I'm like, okay, well then again, do it for free for this many and that's it. And then stop it and make sure that's really bloody clear for people.
Yeah.
And
Jesus,
use it to your advantage. Like, we're not thinking ahead. We're just thinking of the here and now.
This is the problem, isn't it? It's like you're not thinking of the long-term strategy, or even like the medium or anything.
strategy,
It's like, yeah, it's
anything.
not. Because actually, like if I was going to do something for free like that, yes, I'd want the testimonial in return, but I would look at that and go, okay, I need to figure out how I can really help you. So again, coming back to outcome based rather than let me just do the odd session with you and let's see what's what. It's let me figure out how I can actually help you. So what's the problem you're coming to me with? And let's say it's a reactivity case that you want to try and get your teeth into and just figure out how you can do it. Set that expectation again and go like, right, I will work with you for a period of whatever time you deem reasonable. Right, in all fairness, like that could literally be a never-ending one if you wanted them as a guinea pig to really work on your confidence. Because again, sometimes I think we are so conditioned to saying the words like, I need to build my confidence up. But what does that look like for you? Does doing one session actually work to build your confidence up?
Yeah.
Does seeing somebody else do it work to build your confidence up? Because if you feel more confident from being around someone and like having a mentor, well, you going out on your own is never going to fill your confidence up.
No. Is it the outcome that you would need to see from what the person's doing? Is that going to increase your confidence?
Or is it like you need to go and actually do the hands-on stuff and you need to figure it out for yourself, learn through experience and failure and all of that stuff? Is that going to grow your confidence? So I think actually it's quite complex, isn't it? Like you have to be able to look inwards and go, what do I actually need? So when I say these flippant phrases that we are all so conditioned to saying now, like, I need to build my confidence up. What does that look like? What does that look like for you? And then how does that execute itself in terms of that service? So if you are genuinely going to work with someone for a reactivity case that you don't feel confident on, well, maybe in that particular scenario, you go, I will work with you until you, client, are happy with an outcome that you deem acceptable for that dog is no longer kicking off, or you set some criteria around it. So I will help you be able to walk that dog around your block or around your preferred place of where you'd go dog walking, and for you to feel happy that your dog will no longer do X, Y, Z. If that takes 6 months or a year, it takes 6 months or a year. But that's for you to set that criteria, if that is indeed what you are trying to achieve with it. And again, I just don't think anybody really puts any thought into what they mean when they say, go and do it for free to build up your confidence. Just go charge low because you're just trying to get some experience. Again, like experience in what? What do you actually want to get out of it?
Yeah, is it experience of coaching? Is it experience of delivering the like, is it actually articulating what it is you're trying to say? Is it the demo? Is it the what actually is that? And I think that I'm glad you brought that up, because that is a depth that people probably aren't thinking about.
No.
And they've probably never asked themselves that question. And it is just a bandied around word, isn't it? The confidence and the imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
But let's explore that more.
Well, it's like the market saturated is a bandied around term now. It's like,
yeah.
Again, when you say that, what do you mean?
What does it mean to you? To
like,
have a
okay, all these
saturated
trainers
market?
and all these, like, all my competitors are now popping up. Okay, what does that actually mean for you? Oh, well, I have to, I'm not getting as much work now because my clients are going there. Do you know that for a fact?
Yeah.
And when you say your clients, are these the ones that are actually working with you and you've exchanged cash over? Or are these people that you've never spoken to, you don't know their names, you don't know where they live, you don't know where they're from, and you know for a fact they are going to.
But how do you know
X,
they would
Y,
have
and
come
Z.
to you if those people didn't exist
Exactly.
anyway?
It's like we're working off emotion again. We're going like, I feel threatened. I'm not sure. And let's face it, like whenever you feel threatened, it's because we're not, kind of going back to that confidence thing. We're not confident in our own ability because we haven't done this work yet. We haven't done the inner work that is actually required to go, when I say I'm going to set up a business, when I say I'm going to offer this service in exchange for cash, that value exchange, what does that mean? What does that look like? And what's the outcome? Because actually, if everyone went into business with those things in mind, you'd have no fucking problems.
No. Because you so strongly believe in what it is you do and what you can help people with, it wouldn't bother you anyway.
Yeah. And this is where, you know, we bang on a lot about knowing your purpose, knowing what it is that you are really fucking good at, and how to banish that imposter syndrome by just going all in on that one thing. And this is where, you know, you can kind of combine the last 2 years of all these podcasts going out of, well, if you're offering a million different services, if you're talking to a million different types of ideal client stuff, if your mindset's not right, if your sales process is a bit shit and you don't know how to have a conversation, all of this is going to link into that belief that the market's saturated and therefore no one's going to buy from you. Just because all of that other stuff hasn't been done.
Yeah. And I think then when it has been done, it's then going, well, I am a determined business owner that is going to push past that little obstacle. Like, okay, I'm aware, new person here, new person there, new person popped up over there. What do I have to do to adapt and flex and use that in what we call a SWOT analysis, which is one of the modules in our coaching programs, that we want people to understand that that's not necessarily a threat. It can be as much of an opportunity for you to pivot, for you to go, okay, so they've come along and they're doing this. What could I do to utilize that or offer something slightly different? I'm not saying change everything. I'm just saying, like, how could you look at their information that you can research by finding out information on social media, the website, Google, however means, like whatever information you can find, and go like, I'm not doing this to go, oh my God, like they're doing all these amazing things and I'm so crap at everything. It's to go, okay, so they're doing this in this way, they're doing that. How could I then either communicate better with my audience to help them understand that I don't do things like that, I do things a bit differently, or I've been wanting to change that for a little while, so maybe this is the time to do this now. I'm going to just like slightly adapt things and put, and it's usually just the messaging around something, or, you know, as like various techniques of doing it. But let's look at how we can show our brilliance off a little bit more, rather than just be a puddle on the floor and go, oh, and be defeatist about it. And I think, again, it comes back to that work within yourself to go, my mindset is now open to these new challenges and I'm ready for it. And it's almost like, come on then, I'm ready for it. Like, I want someone else to pop up so I can adapt and I can do something, you know, that means I can like bat it back.
Yeah. It should afford you.
It's like a creativity.
Yeah, it is. It's like, it should give you the opportunity to grow, to learn, to fail, to do all the things that is part and parcel of being a business owner. But yeah, so that SWOT analysis is essentially, for those of you who may have done business studies at some point, it is your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And it's in a little quadrant. We all know the quadrants very well, don't we? There's always a bloody quadrant. And the idea is that you look at the marketplace. Now, the marketplace can be dependent on whatever you want it to be. If you're going in the online space, then it opens it up a lot wider. If you're looking at it from a very localized point of view, it obviously narrows it down. And you can then take it a step further if you wanted to, and just really look at it from your service offering as well. So what's the strengths, weaknesses, opportunity and threats of your particular service versus the business? And this is where all of that, I can hear people already thinking, fucking hell, I'm lost. Like, I'm totally not on board with this. So, which is why we actually have it as a really detailed module in Business Basics. But the premise being, if you are feeling threatened by other businesses popping up in your area that you feel are going to damage your potential earnings because you're now suddenly going to lose all of these people, well, first things first, take the emotion out of it and then sit down and do this work. So like look at what is the strengths of your business and what's the strength of their business, for argument's sake.
That's a hard one straight away for someone to take themselves out of it emotionally and go, oh, they're really good at that.
Yeah. And remember, like when you're doing this as well, you have to look at it through the lens of how somebody is perceiving your business, which is also really fucking hard when you've not had that coaching around it, because we're still guilty of doing this now. We've been in business for a very long time. We are still guilty, because we're human, of attaching our own thoughts and beliefs and stuff into doing this type of exercise. And again, it's through a lot of hard work to go, right, it's not me. Because you're all naturally going to think that your service and you are awesome compared to somebody else. Like, it's just a natural human thing.
But then at the same time, we think we're not good enough.
Exactly. It's this, again, it's a totally normal human thing to go, well, I'm better than them, but I've got no confidence in myself and I'm shit. It all happens at the same thought. But yes, really taking yourself out of it and looking at it from that lens of just imagine, I mean, you can even potentially get a friend or family member to do this for you if they're not totally biased on thinking you're the best and they love you and all of that. But looking at it to go, right, so if I was to search dog, enter whatever dog profession, Google, what comes up? Your business comes up. What vibe do I get from that business? What do I think that business delivers? How does that look? How does that feel? What's the kind of personality of that business? Are there any testimonials? Like what's the theme that runs through the testimonials as well? Because I think sometimes, again, we don't go deep enough and we just go, oh, they've got 10 testimonials versus 4. Therefore, that business is better. Well, not necessarily. What's the theme that comes up? What can you pull out?
Is there any continuity in anything?
Yeah. Or is it just really random, like odds and sods thing where someone has clearly asked for a testimonial and maybe no guidance? We don't know what we're asking for and all of that stuff. So taking that step back and going, what are the positives from that business experience that is an initial feeling? And then do the same for the person that you are now comparing yourself to. What does that look like? Where are their strengths? Because when you can identify it, you go like, oh, okay, cool. We've got similar strengths here, or maybe we've got completely different strengths. Both are not a bad thing and both are not a good thing. It's just good to be aware. Same with the weaknesses. Where are we really weak at? Oh, actually, maybe our website's a little bit clunky and it's not a smooth experience versus that person's website. Fucking brilliant. Like, it's really simple. Maybe it's just a 1-pager and it's like, oh, this is about me. This is what I offer. Book a call. Like, really simple compared to all the tabs, as an example. Another weakness could be, I don't know, let's say you've seen some feedback from people in reviews or in Facebook groups or something about this competitor saying the service wasn't that great. So that's a weakness of that business. That now becomes an opportunity for you because you've identified a weakness in their business that you can do something better at. So now in that opportunity box, you could go better customer service and start to map that out. What does that look like? What is good customer service for you? What are they moaning about that you could do better?
You could even do like a little mystery shopper thing if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
Call up and pretend you're a...
Oh, I love doing these.
And again, it's not to just have to like say this, that it's not you just making yourself feel better, and it might be to a degree, but it's actually like analysing it from a...
Yeah, it could make you feel really shit and go, fuck, I don't do that.
I don't do this. Oh my God, like I need to change this. But then that's the whole purpose of it, is to look at it like objectively and go like, and that is hard, like it is, but for the good of your business, for the good of you and for the good of and you've got to think of that customer at the end of the day. Because if you're not delivering on that, you're not going to, they're not going to get the promise that they think they're going to get. And that could be a lot to do with that customer journey bit. It could be that because, you know, we all have experiences that are awesome and we all have experiences that are just like a bit shit. But again, go back to that restaurant we were at yesterday. We stood in a bloody entranceway for like, I would say a good 5 minutes. And there were loads of seats. Now, our table wasn't ready. Fine. Like that happens. but there's loads of seats nearby. Just stick us on a seat for a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
Why are we stood in the doorway? The weather was fine, but it could have been absolutely peeing down, and it could have been freezing, and it could have been drafty. And I'm like, that isn't great. So straight away, my impression of that place, it didn't diminish everything. I mean, kind of the fight between the staff nearly did, but it didn't. But initially, I'm like, that could be better.
Yeah.
That process there, somebody looking, like taking themselves out of that restaurant, looking in, would go like, that isn't great.
Yeah.
Could you not just have a little area where someone waits and then they get shown to the table?
Yeah. So that's an example of, you would put that in your business's weakness box and your opportunity box.
Yeah.
Because you can do something about it.
Yeah. It's not it's not a limiting thing. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, there's a great opportunity to improve that customer experience.
Yeah. So it's really looking at everything as the whole. And then that threat box is, I can see how some people would literally just put in there like, all my clients are going to go. That's the threat. It's like, no, be more specific. Like, what is the actual threat? So if you genuinely feel that all your clients are going to go to this person, look at that person's strengths then. So what are they doing that you're not? Is their marketing better? And when I say better, what is it about it that you feel makes it better? So we've had this with a lot of our clients actually, whereby they'll compare themselves to other businesses' social media, for example, and websites and what have you, and go like, oh my God, it looks incredible and it looks amazing. And they get all of this engagement and virality and all the stuff. I'm like, okay, is it working for them? Yeah. How do you know? Well, because it's getting comments and stuff and it looks impressive. Okay. Where's the facts again? Like, is that their income source? Because again, like, it's a business. Businesses have to generate cash. And I think it's one of these weird things, isn't it? Like, we all know this. We all know it's logically, it makes sense that businesses have to generate money. We all want money. We all need it. Yet we somehow put it to one side and go, oh, but that looks better. And we kind of take the reason out of it. It's like, well, you could spend all your time making pretty reels and doing all of that, but if it's not generating,
you out there probably are doing that.
Yeah, that's like, but if it's not generating income, then what's the point? You can have like 10,000 followers, but if it's not generating you income, what is the point?
And I appreciate you might not be able to actually find out the nitty gritty information as to whether that company is making money off of their social media.
Yeah, but yes and no. Like, you're not going to know it exactly because you don't know their setup and stuff. But realistically, like, if you spent a good amount of time like really following that company and trying to go through the process of, okay, then so if I comment on that fancy reel that's got my attention, what happens? Does that company follow me up? Do they message me and go like, oh, I can see that you've commented on this thing? Am I then being retargeted to with more salesy type messaging rather than just, like the generic content to get you to engage on it? Are you then going through the process of like, is it really clear that, oh, I'm now consuming this information here? Is it really clear on their messaging that the next step is to go to the website potentially, or to book a call
to action,
or to do whatever the thing is? So you'd get a really good vibe as to, just by putting yourself in that potential customer shoe. And this is where, again, it takes time out of your business to do this. But if you're telling yourself that you're not making any money because other people are now in your area and it's saturated, well, sorry, not sorry. You've got to do this work.
Yeah. And if it actually banishes a limiting belief that could project your business forward, it's worth spending a bit of time on this.
Yeah.
Which is why it is in our programs.
Yeah. And like, you should be doing this like every 6 months, really, just
Yeah,
as a
it's
little
not
bit of
a
a
one
review.
done,
It's not
is
a one
it?
and done.
It has
no.
to be continued.
Because you're going to continue to grow as well.
And new businesses are going to pop up all the time anyway.
Yep. And marketplaces change. So like, even when I remember when the Labour government came in the UK, and it's a recent thing realistically, and all of that, and like the big stuff in the US happening at the moment, like all of that stuff, all that policy change is impacting small businesses to a degree, like whether it's what the minimum wage is, whether or not you need to be put in. I remember when the workplace pension thing came in, it massively impacts businesses and how you're going to grow. But if you're not aware of it as being a threat, then how are you ever going to plan for it? Like, the pandemic is a really good example as well of no one ever expected it to be what it was. But now, I would say a lot of the really well thought out businesses will have future pandemics planned on their threat box.
Yeah.
They go, right, if that happens again, how the fuck are we going to deal with it? Like the other threat of, oh, right, okay, now we've created an environment where more and more people are working from home. So there's now a threat to the office buildings as to whether or not companies get rid of them. But all of that is because you're doing that assessment of the marketplace in a logical way rather than going, people are closing their businesses down, people are working from home. Okay, what's the detail? What's the stats? What's the actual figures?
And also, you could look at that and spin it into, well, everything's going online. What about the in-person stuff? Because that's going to now be extra special.
Yep.
And
that flips
mean
it
a
into
lot
that opportunity
more.
box.
Yeah, I would look at that and go like, there's a lack of that kind of thing more so now than there was.
Yep.
So human connection is what people crave.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing people really struggled with the most in lockdown. Let's face it.
Yep.
That's why everyone broke the rules in lockdown, because people wanted to see people. And it's like, well, to me, whenever there's we talk about in-person magic a lot, but I feel like that is just means so much more to us now, knowing we didn't have it for a period of time, quite a long period of time, really.
Yeah.
And it just, I don't know, we appreciate it all. I think even now, like a few years on, I feel like we really do appreciate it. And we know it's, you know, especially in young people today, with all of the online opportunities, it's being lost, isn't it? The art of conversation, the art of human connection, the ability to actually communicate and talk and do those things in a just a way whereby it bounces off. Like, we're having this conversation right now in person, and okay, it would be great if it was online on Zoom, and we do our podcasts on Zoom, we do like other stuff on Zoom, but I just feel like it's just that extra level of like perception about the person and the body language and everything. Like, there's a great opportunity for you to go like, it's an actual in person. So like our conference, for example, it's in person. And a lot of people kind of like, oh, is it? Oh, wow. Like, assumed it'd be online. And we go, okay, there's a potential, you know, like weakness is that we have global clients now and they're like, I can't come to your conference because I'm in America, Canada, Australia, or whatever. And we're like, we're now considering doing a live stream. So therefore there's that kind of opportunity to bring those people in.
Yeah.
So it's looking at that, you know, that just one event and going like, how can we pivot that and make it an experience that everyone can attend, you know, and include everybody in it.
Yeah. There's so much in that. And I really wanted to say all the way through that, I was like, I get to touch you when I'm in real life.
Oh my God, well, the subjects we've been covering with some of these, no, not appropriate.
Only you. But yeah, no, there's a lot of work that can go into this, as hopefully you can all ascertain from this chat. And it's just something that, again, we always want to bring the things to the forefront that we feel are just not talked about, because it's easy to focus on that surface level answer of, yeah, the market's saturated and yes, I need to slash my prices. But actually, no, you don't. No, you don't.
It doesn't do anybody any good when you do that in the long term.
No, God, no. And this is where everything always goes back full circle to going like, who are you targeting? What are you trying to achieve? What you do you, and you do you really fucking well. Like, even us in CBA now, like, how many other business coaches are there out there? How many like dog specific business coach? You know, there's a fair few.
There's quite a lot.
There are a fair few. And the reality is, and I think sometimes we the collective we now, not you and me, we don't always think that we're being quite ego around it. But realistically, like, you and I now, we can't service everyone. We're not going to be the right fit for everybody.
We don't want to anyway.
I don't want to. Yeah, we couldn't physically do it.
But everyone isn't for us and we're not for them. Like,
Exactly
we
that.
accept that so well now. Like, it, maybe not the beginning, but now we're like, no, we are an acquired taste.
Indeed. And those of you who are listening are just fortunate enough to be in the batshit crazy bang. Can't speak batshit crazy gang with us. My brain works too quick.
Phrases that kind of are really hard to say. So
my brain like goes too quickly and tries to merge words together. But yeah, like I think we tell ourselves that we need everyone and we're trying to market to everybody. And it's like, do you really need everybody? I was listening to a podcast the other day and I'm sure it was something like there was 8 billion people or something on the planet. Do you really think that you are going to attract every single person on the planet?
You don't want every person.
Don't want every person.
Oh my God, that sounds really, really hard work.
And if, like take out the planet and let's just work on that local area bit and you're going, right, realistically, how many people can you see each month? Whether it's a class, a group, a walk, a training service, a sitting, like literally how many people can you see? Like we've got clients who are sitters and I'm like, well, realistically, if you're booked out for a week at a time, you can only really see either like 4 people.
Unless you've got a team of sitters, but even then, it's not that many people, is it?
I was like, if you're being booked out a week at a time, there's only 4 weeks in a month for the most part. You're one person. I can't be in 2 places at once. So therefore, my capacity is only 4 people. So if another sitter pops up or another trainer pops up or another groomer pops up or whatever it is, well, okay, fine. How many of whatever your service can you actually deliver? So like in dog training world, for me, I think I'd got to the stage where I was comfortable with 5 new clients a month was my aim.
Yeah, mine was 4, I think.
And it's going, okay. And now I have a choice of going, do I change the model or do I bring staff in to continue the model? And again, it's a question.
Yeah.
It's what's the right strategy for you and your business at that point.
You just want to grow it a bit.
Yeah.
Maybe
so you can grow it in different ways. But looking at it from that numbers view, I was like, I only need 5 people. So why am I stressing out so much that all these people are going everywhere else bar me when I only need 5? And we look at that like it's a bad thing that you're not getting a million inquiries each month. Like how many people do we see and come to us going, I just need more leads. I need more leads and I need more inquiries.
Daily.
I'm like, well, okay.
Daily.
So if you're getting 50 leads in a month, how many of those do you actually need? And again, depends on your service and it depends on your price point and it depends on how you're actually going to see them out. So there's a lot of, it depends. But this is where your pricing strategy has to come into that.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're only doing £35 offers for whatever it is, and actually I think that 35 to 40 mark is quite consistent across training, sitting, grooming. Walking would be a lot less unless you've got like you group stuff maybe.
Yeah, physio massage, it's about the same.
So how many of those, and this is where you only have to look at that outwardly, again, do that detachment thing and go, if you need to be bringing in like 4-5 grand a month, which I would say is the average now, I think it's massively gone up from the days of you need about 2 grand to live. And I'm basing this on if you want to be, what's the word? You want to feel that you can be secure by yourself and not rely on anybody else, or you want to, really pull your weight if you're in a relationship and what have you. But to know that you can confidently bring in that 4 to 5k consistently is a really good indicator and it's a good mark to aim for. Well, how many £35 services do you need to sell? In fact, let me do it. Talk amongst yourselves. Can't do it now, can you?
No.
What did I say? 5 grand?
Yeah.
Let's do 4 grand. Let's go lower. 4.
There's a lot of scratching involved there.
Fucking hell. So 4,000 divided by £35 is 114.28. So just round it up to 115. 115 things you've got to sell.
That's a lot of classes to shoehorn in. to a month, if it's that you do predominantly.
And then realistically, like say you brought staff in to actually support that, well, you no longer need $4,000 in now because you've got to pay their salary. So even if you doubled that, like there's still a lot of work for one person to deliver.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, to me, that model doesn't work for that individual if that's the numbers that you're aiming for. Let's make it a lower number. So if you're aiming for 2,000 a month, divide by 35, 57 things you've got to sell.
And if you're like a dog walker, for example, that would be like half at 35, if not more like £10 to £12 for a service.
Yeah. So it's asking yourself that question of, what do you need? How are you going to do it? Who's like, if you're operating from that space of uncertainty and threat when somebody else pops up, if you've already got a sell at, what was it, 115 or something?
115.
At 35, and now you're going to slash it to
20.
Like, fuck me. No wonder you're burnt out and you're stressed and you've got no money, because that's impossible. That's a lot of hard work to do that. See, business model's wrong.
Yeah.
Again, sorry, not sorry. We're here to say the hard things.
Yeah. On that note, hope you enjoyed the episode. And we haven't said this for a little while. Leave a little review.
Oh, yeah. Please review us.
We need some more reviews. So if you like it, if you've listened for a while and you've never reviewed us, why not get your ass into whatever podcast platform you use and get us a review?
Yeah. Can I have a Google review as well?
Oh, yeah. We'd like some more Google reviews.
Yes. Thanks. Bye.